If you want to learn about gunsmithing from one of the world's foremost experts, I've got some great books to show you in this video from master gunsmith Fred Zeglin. Gavin Gu here from UltimateReloader.com. I am excited to announce today that I have formally partnered with one of the world's foremost experts in gunsmithing, Fred Zeglin. Who is Fred Zeglin? Fred has over 30 years of custom rifle build experience and very deep, extensive domain expertise in certain areas, like chambering for Ackley rifles, like Wildcat cartridge design and rifle builds, that kind of thing. He's also a gunsmith instructor and owner of 40 Reamer Rentals. 40 Reamer Rentals is a place where you can go to rent chambering reamers or other expensive gunsmithing tools, things like accurizing tools, that sort of a thing. And if you only need it for a one-off project and it's an expensive tool, this is a great way to save money. It shows up in the mail, you use it, you send it back. It's really easy and convenient. At 40 Reamer Rentals, you can also peruse Fred's collection of DVDs and books that he's produced and authored. That's right, he's a very well-respected author in the gunsmithing community as well. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 of the books that I have in-house, 2 of which that I've read and 2 of which are next on my reading list so that you can see what's inside, and then I'll have links where you can buy these books. The first book I want to talk about is the first book that I got, which is Chambering Rifles for Accuracy. This was a collaboration between Fred Zeglin and Gordy Gritters. You've seen Gordy Gritters on the channel, and I've got even more partnership, cool opportunities coming that I'm going to collaborate with Gordy this coming year. What's cool about this book is it's divided into 2 parts, and it covers 2 different chambering scenarios, 2 different rifle build scenarios. I'm going to call this the US fighter jet scenario and the MiG, the Russian MiG fighter scenario. So Gordy covers essentially extreme accuracy bench rest rifle build techniques. This is the kind of thing, again, if we go back to that fighter jet analogy, they're locked arm in arm going down the runway, scrubbing all of the pieces of debris, high precision, not a whole lot of tolerance for dirt and debris, those sorts of things, but utmost precision, utmost pinpoint accuracy. I use Gordy's checklist from that section of the book when I'm doing my chambering jobs. You've seen links to this book in my articles. It's a great reference. Now, Fred Zeglin, his section in this book is the counterpoint to that. This is the Russian MiG scenario. This is the hunting rifle scenario, where your rifle needs to go bang every single time. I've seen Russian MiG fighters that actually have big guards that come over the jet air intakes, and debris can bounce off of it. I mean, these things are incredibly resilient and incredibly effective. So if you're interested in building a hunting rifle that's going to work when there's ice, when there's water, when there's snow, dirt, debris, dust, everything, you know, the rifle has to go bang, and it's also got to be incredibly precisely built. Fred's section of the book will guide you through that. This book is a great investment. I would highly recommend it if you're interested in chambering rifles for either extreme accuracy scenarios or for something like a hunting scenario. The next book I want to show you is one that I just finished reading cover to cover. It's called Gunsmith Tools, Cutters, and Gauges, a Primer by Fred Zeglin. This book is an absolute essential part of anyone's library who wants to chamber barrels for shotguns, pistols, or rifles. It goes in depth on this subject. We're talking about all of the different types of cutting tools and reamers, different flute counts, different geometries. It breaks down the difference between SAMI, which is a US spec, and CIP, which is more of a European spec, and some of the interesting differences between the two. Additional tools like reamer stops that can be used to enhance the efficiency of your process and guarantee a reliable result. Lots of good reference information in here. I absolutely wish, actually, that I could have read this book prior to starting chambering rifles. I guess I knew exactly what I needed to know and nothing more. This book is going to give you a much more broad perspective on the subject from the get-go. The next book in my collection that I've flipped through but really need to read cover to cover is called Understanding Headspace for Firearms by Fred Zeglin. Headspace is a concept and a terminology that is very frequently misunderstood. It's used in reloading, it's used in chambering, it's used to validate the safety of a firearm, and there's a lot of confusion around this subject. And there is a bit of complexity as well. You've got different cartridge rim types: rimless, rimmed, semi-rimmed, rebated rim, belted. There's different considerations and different tools for each of these types of scenario, and Fred breaks them all down in detail in one easy-to-read book. Okay, the final book I want to talk to you about is called Chambering for Ackley Cartridges, and this is a somewhat misleading title because the book actually covers more than that. So P.O. Ackley was a dude that thought he could make everything better, and in many cases he did, with his custom cartridge designs that were basically alterations of existing cartridge specifications. Now, when you go to purchase and fire a firearm with an Ackley improved chamber, or if you go to chamber a barrel for an Ackley improved cartridge, there are some very specific considerations around things like brass growth and checking and validating headspace, either in a rifle that's been assembled or one that you're chambering a rifle for. This book breaks all of those topics down in detail. So if you're chambering for Ackley, or if you're going to own an Ackley firearm, I would suggest getting this book, because better safe than sorry. So there it is, my initial collection of Fred Zeglin books. Here's what I'd like to know. Do you have experience with his DVDs and his books? Please drop a comment and we'll start a discussion. Couple links in the video description. First will be over to Fred's Amazon store, where you can very easily buy his books and DVDs. Also, I'll have a link to the full article that's going to have more product descriptions, links, overviews, that kind of thing. Please join me in welcoming Fred Zeglin as an Ultimate Reloader partner. He's a very valued contributor, and I'm really looking forward to the things that we're going to do together. If you have ideas for us, drop a comment and we'll put that idea in the hat. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications, because you're not going to want to miss these upcoming gunsmithing stories for 2021. As always, thank you for watching. I got Ultimate Reloader shirts at the Ultimate Reloader store. I'm also on Patreon. Links down in the video description. Until next time, happy shooting and happy reloading.